All right, here we go. Looks like we're live on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube. All right, fantastic. Are we live on Webinar Jam here, hopefully?
We are as
Here
well.
we go. Now we are. Fantastic. We made it.
We're live. Welcome back.
Hey,
How
got
you
everything going. Good seeing you, Tom.
Likewise.
Yeah.
What's
You have
shaking?
fun weekend plans coming up or anything?
I've got the Total Traction Intensive this weekend, so a number of students coming to town, and we're going to have a great time.
Love that. There we go. Fantastic. Yeah, I know we've got a couple of things. I mentioned my kiddos love Little Ninja Warrior, which is, for American Ninja Warrior for 6-year-olds, essentially. So we've got a tournament this weekend, and it's gonna be a fun weekend, man. So looking forward to that. Everybody jump in the chat, say hello, please. Say where you're based out of. Again, I had a few questions from people about turning in the homework. I did get everyone's homework over email, even if I didn't respond to you yet. I made sure and tagged it all and put it in the spreadsheet and everything. So I've got our VA team helping me out there. So very appreciative of the team, and just want to make sure that you guys know, hey, I got all the homework. So don't be worried if you didn't get an email response from me. So had again like an awesome turnout for people. I think we had 15 or maybe 20 even finish the homework.
Nice.
So we've had some really just people who are ready to get out there and take action, which is, that's the whole point of this thing, right, guys? Is like, this isn't worth very much if you're just listening to this every day and not do anything with it, right? So love to see you guys stepping up and following through.
I was thinking I was helping my younger son with his very basic math. And you know what one of the basic math things is when you first learn multiplication? Anything times 0 is 0. And I thought, well, that's a perfect lesson for us. If you do nothing, you get nothing. That's a guarantee. Anything times 0 is 0. Zero marketing, 0 times it's 0.
Yep.
So you got, reading about it, studying about it, thinking about it, but then never doing it, it's 0. So you got to get out there and do it. And that's what.
Yep. Yeah, you can put the 10,000 hours into planning, but if you put 0 into action, then like you said, it's going to be 0. So love it, guys. Well, love to see people already networking in the chat. Again, we've had people team up from jumping in the chat and saying where they're based out of and being able to meet people that way. So do that if you can within Webinar Jam. Use this as an opportunity to meet each other. Again, I'm in St. Louis one more time. Matt Camp over here with DealMachine had a partnership. It's been really fun doing this with you this week, Tom. Again, like I said, we've had a great group, super engaged, people ready to get in here and follow through on what we're laying out there for them. So I know it's been a 5-day challenge. People have been getting out there. We've had 3 live trainings. We've had homework in between, but again, I've had a great time with you on this, Tom, and love the group that you bring to the table here. So
awesome.
All right,
glad to be here. We love the energy, training, and specificness that you bring, Matt. So I'm sure I speak on behalf of everybody, not just saying that.
I try to break it down and make it very in terms of as straightforward as I can, in terms of just, hey, here's the action steps to take. Now here, ball's in your court and run with it, guys. So that's where this challenge came from, is from, again, on our end, DealMachine, our focus is on giving everyone the power of real estate investing. And, we've had over 10,000 deals done using our tech. So we are always looking at the data, seeing what's working, talking to our customers, talking to ones landing deals, finding out what's working in the field, and want to share that with you guys. So love to see everybody on here. Again, everybody who did turn in the homework, you all qualified for the grand prize giveaway, whether we're going to do it at the very end here too. So make sure to stick around for that. You got to be on live to win too. So I will try to keep us within the right time frame, but make sure that you're on live, because you got to be able to step up and claim it, or I'll have to keep spinning the wheel here for you. So, don't want to do that. But first off, pat yourself on the back. You guys did an awesome job getting out there. And again, you made it these 5 days, but not only that, you actually followed through on what we gave you. It was a challenge for a reason. We made it challenging. We made it hard to get out there and actually, follow through in these tight windows. We had, 48-hour windows for doing the homework, and to see how many people stepped up. The percentage of people that participated and actually followed through with the homework is one of the best I've ever seen in terms of teaming up and running one of these things. So you guys are getting out there ready to bring it, in a time of year and in a market that there's so much opportunity. Like you getting out there, and especially at the end of the year when a lot of people are shutting down, a lot of people are mailing it in and saying, oh yeah, I'll get started in January. I'll do this, New Year's resolution thing and just use that as an excuse to end their year, a couple months early. Well, hey, here are the people that are actually, trying to boot that trend and say, hey, now is the time to step up and stand out. And especially in a market where, there's record low inventories and things, like, hey, get out there and use this to go direct to seller, use this to make your own inventory, use this to make your own deals. And that's where you're going to find truly motivated sellers anyway, that are willing to have you come in and solve a problem for them, come in and help you really, listen to their motivations and provide things like helping them move quickly and conveniently and as is. And those are where the great deals come from, are the people that you're solving a problem for and having a win-win, where they're able to give you a property at a discount in that way, and that you are coming in and able to help solve something that's going on, in their life there. So love to see the people who stepped up, follow this challenge, follow the playbook that we gave you guys. Again, on my end, everything that we do is focused on giving you the power of real estate investing, using technology, using, tools, and giving you that, combined with this playbook, combined with knowledge, combined with Tom here, who's phenomenal in terms of being able to help people take it from here and really work with him in terms of, sales skills and closing deals and all of that. Like, Tom is top notch when it comes to this stuff. So, we can be a tool to enable you to be more, successful, but it's up to you to use the tool, to use the knowledge, to use this community and get out there and take action on it. So, again, the people that we're really looking at to be able to build this playbook, it's over 10,000 deals done that we can look at that data, see what they're doing. It's a huge sample size. And we've got, really proud to say, the highest ratings and most reviews out there for an app to help you find off-market deals. So that's really where we hang our hat on, is saying, like, letting our customers do the talking, letting us, them follow through, and us just being really in tune with them to be able to bring you guys the playbook, like what we talked about over these 3 days, where we went through that. We answer your questions. So just like that, again, today, we're going to try to stick around and answer questions and, help you overcome your challenges. And then today, we're for the people who followed through on that homework, you've got a chance to win a pretty awesome prize here. So every other day we gave you that homework. We said, hey, you gotta follow through to be able to actually qualify, and we're going to reward those action takers. So everyone who did that and turned it into me, again, I went through the email. I had somewhere like around 20 or so people did turn in that final homework. I've got you all lined up in my email here too. So if you didn't get a response from me, that's okay. You still got to be on live. If you're watching the replay of this, then, sorry you didn't win. But hey, you know what? The real prize here, beyond just this grand prize, beyond the $2,500 plus that we gave away, is going out and doing actual deals, right? Like that is where we want you guys to the main thing we want you to take away from this is how to go from here and use this to really build on the traction that you've built over the last 5 days, and use this as a launching point to go out there and do deals. So, Tom, did you have any thoughts you wanted to share on these last 5 days before we actually get into the meat of this thing today?
Yeah, Matt, if people really think about it, what we've given them is a path, a plan, a framework, a protocol to follow. It doesn't have to be just this week. What if you did this every month? What if every first week of the month you spent your time driving for deals, and then spent the rest of the month working them and trying to get them? And you can create a nice solid discipline and a consistency for that. So it's fun to be on the challenge. It's fun to potentially win the prizes. The whole point is we're showing you that you can do this. It's easy to do. You just have to execute and implement. And there's no reason why you can't take this exact playbook that Matt's given you and replicate it out on a frequent, recurring basis going forward.
Absolutely. So that's what we'll go through today too, is just kind of recap day 1 and 2, or rather day 1 and 3, those first 2 live trainings, really share with you guys again, hey, here's briefly what we covered, and then get into the real meat of this, which today we're going to be talking through for this kind of final wrap-up day, is, one, how do you, track your leads from here? How do you stay organized? How do you really continue to follow up until you close deals? We've even got a little AI assistant built into DealMachine. I'll show you guys that briefly as well on some of the best practices seen people use for that. And then finally, when it comes to actually, making an offer, and you follow this playbook and you've gotten in the room with the seller and you're having that conversation and pricing comes up, how do you come up with that ARV number? How do you come up with that after repair value, which is so extremely valuable in the negotiation process to actually know if you've got a good deal or not? So, to go through that exercise, we'll go through that here today with our comping tool and really the recommended way to be using that as well. So we've got a couple things to cover here today. Again, we're going to wrap up the very end with the grand prize giveaway and be able to give away something worth over $1,500 to you guys as well. So, stick around. You got to be on live to win that. So appreciate you all for sticking around with us, and we'll try to keep all of that and then, hey, let you go for the weekend and let you use this as your launching point from here. So, Tom, does that sound good? Anything else you wanted to cover?
Nope. That sounds totally awesome.
Fantastic. Well, going into this from here, again, this live training recap, let me put up this option one more time here for you. I know we've been sharing this free trial alongside the challenge the whole time, so I just put that in Webinar Jam here for you guys. That is something that, again, you've got another chance here to be able to try this out. So if you're watching the replay, awesome. Just, be able to follow along there, and you can use DealMachine for 7 days free with this challenge, with a whole bunch of marketing credits for free. That really covers a lot of the stuff we talked about in the second live training. So really use this as an opportunity to try this stuff as much as possible for free. And hey, once you do that, again, use this as a launching pad for going from here. So, what I shared out right there is just a month-to-month DealMachine option once you do the trial. And then I've also got a year-long option that if you're going to stick with this for more than just a couple months, is going to give you a huge discount for the year too. So, going through the actual trainings though, where we really started was day one is all about the lifeblood of this. It's finding qualified leads, and when we say leads, we mean properties, addresses, sellers, somebody who is likely to want to have a conversation about selling their property. And everything we do comes down to identifying people who, for whatever reason either aren't wanting to keep up with a property, aren't able to keep up with a property, have a dire issue that you can solve for them. Like, there are thousands of reasons why someone may want to sell, and our job out there is to go find those people and solve that problem for them. So how to identify those? We gave you a couple options. We jumped into the app here. We showed you there's kind of two main categories that we talk about when it comes to identifying qualified leads. And if you can see, hopefully, Tom, can you see the app there here as well?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So what we showed you guys first and foremost is, all right, we've got essentially the map right here, which you've got a desktop version of DealMachine, you've got a mobile version of DealMachine. Anything you do on one or the other is going to sync up instantly. So what have been showing you throughout this this challenge and on each training is the desktop version, but the mobile app looks very similar. And when you jump into here right away, we talked about one option out of these two buckets is pulling a list of motivated sellers by stacking data points on top of each other. And we know that the intersection of these data points, when we keep saying, hey, if they fit this criteria and this criteria and this criteria and this criteria, that we know when you get that targeted, you're gonna be able to come up with a very specific list where these people, are much, much more likely than just you going out, and blanking in an entire neighborhood and saying, hey, who wants to sell? Get really strategic about this, and you're going to find those people who are a much, much higher likelihood that they're looking to sell. So what we talked about in that process inside DealMachine to use this data and stack data on top of each other, you can see on the right side, you can browse properties, but on this top bar is the filters bar, and this bottom bar is the actual list building bar. So you'll notice right away, like, hey, if I put in a zip code, so I think I put in 63109 as an example, South City, St. Louis with me, you'll see right away I've got over 10, almost 11,000 properties in that zip code. So you can type in any kind of zip code you want right here, and it's going to automatically outline that zip code inside DealMachine for you. And then from there, we just started stacking that data. So we said, hey, show me single family. Now we're down to 8,400 properties. Show me, properties that are free and clear. Now we're down to 2,000 properties. Show me properties that are free and clear and also are owned by seniors. And, you click this match all toggled to be that intersection. And now we're down even further. Senior owned single family homes in 63109 that are senior owned, that are free and clear rather. All of that intersection gets you down to 48 properties right there. You can hit build list, confirm that. And, within a few seconds, you've got a list to run with right there. So that was one option. Was we really walked you through in day one what data points to consider when it comes to the characteristics of the property, when it comes to motivations of the seller. What should you be thinking about? What makes a qualified lead? We talked about that, really a deep dive in day one. So make sure to rewatch that replay, and we'll send out the replays afterwards to all of these for you guys too. But really digging into that, and thinking through data in a strategic way was our goal with that, is figuring out, okay, how do we stack all these motivations on top of each other and come up with a targeted list when we don't have as much time to get out there, but we have maybe a little bit more money and, budget to be able to market to these sellers. Because we know, hey, that, I just pulled a list of leads in, 30 seconds right there, right? That's a lower barrier than the second bucket of what we're going to talk about here. And so that these leads, while it's quality leads to be able to go after, they're going to be more competitive versus this other method takes more time to build your list, but it's your best bang for buck list out there. And so we talked about, list building. The other one, the best bang for your buck, is driving for dollars. And it's getting out there and it's having the mobile app lock on your location, and you drive around your area. And, if I can clear this here for you guys, if I just zoom in here, you'll see like every little house on the map is going to pop up right here. And if within the mobile app as well, you'll be able to see all of that really, really, really easily. Here we go here. So loading this up for you guys here. And just every single property that I drive past, I can see, hey, 4461 Neosho in real life is a rundown house, and that's what we're looking for, is the fixer-upper house. We're looking for properties that, have the tarp on the roof, the gutters falling off, broken boarded up windows, really overgrown grass, signs that it's vacant. Like if you're in a place that it's snowing already, then, hey, if you don't see any signs of life, no footprints or anything, hey, maybe that's a good key there, right? So there, it can be seasonal in terms of things to look for. But the key is you're looking for that rundown house. You find it in real life. You click on it in the app. You hit add lead. It's going to pin that property with a little blue pin for you. And then you just move on to the next one and keep going. So as you go through this exercise, again, locking on your location, in real life here. Here, let me reload this here for you guys. Having a little Wi-Fi issue here. As you go through, here we go. As you go through this, you're going to see all these blue pins pop up, and that means they're a lead on my list, and I can keep going. So we taught you guys how to do that, what to look for, whether you're doing it in person or even virtually with this little start driving button. You click on that. You click anywhere, any property on the map, and you can do a lot of this in-person driving for dollars. If I don't end up in the alleyway, in person as well, so or virtually as well, rather. So you've got a lot of options here for you that are available. And we wanted to really talk through like, hey, how do you do this in the most strategic way possible, where you're not only adding leads, one lead source, but you're rather really focused on getting into properties that are going to be really helping you. Let me end this really quick. Really helping you diversify your leads in terms of driving for dollars or list building. So that was kind of day one, was talking through how to find motivated sellers, how to build a list of those. Tom, is there anything you want to talk about there before we get into the marketing to those sellers?
Nothing specific, just that the basic building blocks of driving for deals is flat out getting out there. And when you've got all that data at your fingertips and can either use the app in advance to figure out where you want to go, or just be driving around and figure out everything as you go, you can do it either way. There's no right or wrong way. It's kind of it's one of the cookies or something. So there's no right or wrong way to eat it. This is the same way. There's no right or wrong way to do driving for deals. Just jump in there and get it done.
Love that. There we go. And you're right. Like it's a matter of getting around. And we do have people ask like, how run down does the house have to be? Any kind of sign of distress, I say add. I'm definitely leaning more toward like being less lenient or more lenient, and reach out that way.
Don't get over picky at the beginning. I think
Yeah.
sometimes you're like, is this the exact right? Look, put it on the list and market to it. If it just for whatever, if you're questioning it, put it on the list, because whatever that question is, even if you can't define it verbally, in the back of your mind, something's a little off. It's not going to hurt you to market to it.
Yep. And one example I'll always use for that too, and I can't remember if I mentioned this on Monday, but one of our first hires, he got out there and landed his first deal using DealMachine, where he was driving around and looking for properties that were run down, saw a house that had Halloween decorations up, and it was like March. Yeah. So missed some holidays. That's not like distress level per se, but it's hey, something's going on here. They're not keeping up with the look of the property. Let me reach out, and turned out to be somebody who didn't want to deal with that house anymore. So there we go. Awesome. So that was day one. Day three was taking it from here, where you said, okay, let me think through how to market to sellers, how to be able to take that list of properties, take that list of leads, and start reaching out to them in the most strategic way possible. And so what we had talked about, and this is something that when we look at the data, there are a couple key things that we can share there. You can go in and use DealMachine to execute on a variety of these things, but the main focus with this is one, reach out in multiple ways if you can. We talked about, hey, you don't want to overwhelm yourself with marketing, but if you have only one marketing channel to somebody and you only reach out through calls, and that's all you're doing, only calls, you're giving yourself less of a chance of getting in touch with them, because you're, variety of reasons, but hey, you might be dealing with somebody who doesn't really, communicate that specific way very much. You also are only reaching out in one way. So if they're missing that one way, then you're not giving yourself another chance to get in front of them. And the big thing we see is if you're reaching out in multiple ways, you really kind of start to get this like omnipresent, oh man, this guy's everywhere type, attention. And you can, that's when you're really going to get people to at least give you that time of day and try to have a conversation with you. So if you're able to layer in multiple marketing strategies, that brings up the probability that you'll have a call with them, or you'll have a conversation with them. If we see just 2 marketing strategies, it goes up like 3x. So it's disproportional compared to one marketing strategy. So, that was one thing. The secret sauce is in the follow-ups. It's consistency, which, fits the theme of this whole thing, right? And, being able to follow through with people and send them more than one follow-up touch point. We talked about the stat of if you only send them one touch point, you're missing out on that conversation over 85% of the time. If you send them only 3 marketing outreach attempts, then you're missing out on the conversation over 52% of the time. So, put yourself in the right bucket. Give yourself a chance to really reach out multiple ways over multiple touch points, and you're going to give yourself, a really good opportunity to get in touch with them. And then the final thing we talked about is having this 2-pronged approach when you do it. Have short-term marketing and long-term marketing. And so what we talk about with short-term marketing is something that is one-to-one, something that you can, put the hustle into, but also it cannot easily scale. Like you have to get out there and, we would put like door knocking under that, cold calling, texting, emailing one-off, sticky notes in the door hangers, anything like that. We would put under the short-term marketing bucket, because it's this one-to-one manual outreach. And then we talked about supplementing that with automation and with using something you can scale and just set it and forget. And inside DealMachine, you can, within the mail function, you can send direct mail postcards and just hit one button, say, hey, I want to send them this postcard once a month, every month, or I want to send them this one, then this one, then this one, and automate the entire process. Just, do it in your sleep and hit one button, where from there on out, you don't have to touch it, and it's going to automatically market to that person the amount of times that you preset to do. So that kind of 2-pronged approach, multiple marketing channels with a consistent follow-up, is really the playbook that we see working over and over again. So I'll show that here in the app here in just a second. But Tom, did you have anything else on that front you wanted to share?
No.
Awesome. Cool. Here, let me kick over to my other account, because this one had not as many marketing things unlocked for you. So this should be better here. Give me one second. All right, cool. Now, here we go. So now I can really demonstrate how to do this stuff. So in here, all right, cool. So when you click on a property, you'll notice, here, let me find one that we did not already do this for. You'll notice we've got skip tracing, which is, first and foremost what we were talking about. Like skip tracing is pinging the database and getting contact info back, whether it be phone numbers, email addresses, ways to reach out to them directly. So you've got 5 phone numbers and 3 emails to reach out to this owner directly. So that was like the one-to-one marketing outreach right there, that button. You've got a drive this list feature we talked about, which is essentially giving you turn-by-turn navigation to every single property in this list that you pulled. So, if you pull a list, this one's got 650 leads, so it won't even give me an estimation probably, but it would normally, is way too big. But normally if it's like 100 lead list, right, it'll tell you, it's going to take you 3 hours, and here's exactly the route to take, and it'll give you turn-by-turn navigation to every single one of those properties. So if you're going out there and you're door knocking, you're doing anything in person, drive this list. You use that button to really, make that as easy and efficient as possible. So we use that as well, and in the mobile app as well. When you hit start drive, that drive this list feature will be an or planned route. Either one can work for that. And then the last thing we talked about again was mail. You just simply hit start mail. And once you do that, you're going to see, okay, it's going to send this postcard to the property owner, and, here's what it's going to look like. And I can customize how often I send it. It's going to go every 21 days. If I want to really get more specific, I showed a deep dive on the mail center right here, which tracks how much mail you're sending, how much you're spending on it. It shows this is where you can really edit the postcard design. So you get a ton of free pre-designed options, but you can also get in there and get really creative with it and change the wording, change the pictures on there, all kinds of stuff, change the sizing, do handwritten letters. So you've got really infinite things you can do within that postcards option. And then mail sequences too. We talked about, hey, you can create a sequence of postcards, so that way it mixes up the templates you're sending and how often you send them and how much time's in between. So that way, again, you just hit one button from there, put them on that sequence, and let it go out, never have to worry about it again, right? So that was the goal, was to show you guys day 1 how to build a list, day 2 how to market to that list, and now day 3 is going to be talking through what to do with those leads from here and how to make those confident offers for this live training number 3. So, Tom, is there anything else on the marketing front you wanted to share before we get into this piece? Or
just to reiterate, the consistency, the repetition, the multiplication of effort. That's the hidden grammar to marketing. There's got to be repetition involved.
Yep.
So it's great if they respond on the first try. It's just unlikely. It's going to be a hit again. That's what we're after. So you got to keep that consistency up.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I know you shared some really good tips on talking to the sellers as well. And I got some emails saying they appreciated that too. So do you have any other advice there? I know you work with a ton of people on that specifically, but
get the conversations moving. So make it about them, not about you. Nobody particularly cares what the name of your LLC is or why you chose it or what your favorite color is. Talk about them and talk about their problem, because people can talk endlessly about their problems. And you actually want them talking endlessly about their problems, because as they're describing their problems, they're giving you the answers to the questions of how to best package up a deal that would work for them, how you could package up a solution. And that process of them opening up to you creates massive rapport with you. So at the same time that you're digging deep, you're also boxing out the other competition, because you're the one that listened better.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's what it comes down to in the end is how genuinely can you show that you care about this person? That means listening to them and figuring out how to solve their problems, right? So that's how you build trust. That's how you build rapport. That's how you win a deal, even if you have a lower offer. We see people all the time where the pricing is not the main motivator. It's them trusting you. So love to hear that, man. So going into this day, wanted to wrap up with this training really focused on helping you have the foundation of what's going to make you successful from here. So if you're building a great list, you're consistently marketing to it, that means you're going to start getting in these conversations with sellers and getting in the door and really having conversations where you're going to go do some deals, right? So being able to really track your properties, track your leads, track your addresses as you go through all this and just stay organized, that's going to really set you up for long-term success. We talked about this a little bit last time around using this as a CRM, but customer relationship management software, CRM, for those unfamiliar, is just a way to really manage your pipeline of opportunities here. And, you've got things in DealMachine like lead status, where it'll tell you if it has marketing at that, going to that seller, if that marketing is complete, like if you've put it on a mail campaign and now that mail campaign is done, that'll pop up. You can change it to like, oh, I set an appointment, I sent him an offer, I'm following up. Like, you can really kind of manage your pipeline status right here and kind of track where in the conversation you are with each seller. We have plenty of people who add properties into DealMachine or export all these leads as well. So that, we want to work really seamlessly with anything else out there and make it easy for you to kind of manage lead flow that way. But especially if you're going to add leads, when you hit this import list button or add one at a time, the really cool thing is it's going to actually list stack in real time for you. So you may have heard list stacking. It's just showing you how many lists is this individual a part of, and you see like a little number 1 right here. I don't know if we have, this is a demo account, so I'm not sure if we got anything else higher than that. But when you click on that one, you'll see, oh, if it was in multiple lists, it'll be a 1 right here. It's in this list, this list, this list, and then there'd be number 3 right here. And that really kind of helps you understand which leads to go after first, because if you see a higher number right there, that means they keep showing up. They keep, maybe you imported a list of properties from some other, spreadsheet you had, and then you pulled a list, and then you drove for dollars, and you've added this address a couple different ways. Like, it's going to show up right there and never duplicate itself. It'll just show you the little number right there. And that way, right away, you can figure out, okay, well, who should I be spending my time on first? Well, those properties that have a high number is a really good place to start. Oh, go ahead, Tom.
Well, that list stacking is one of those things that it's not that easy in other marketing methods, but it's so absolutely almost tailor-made for DealMachine, because since you've got this great list builder and you can it's easy to stack and pull different motivation levels and see what you drove by. Where if you're just sending postcards or letters from, which I love, by the way, right? Send postcards and letters of lists you generated at the courthouse, but you generally generated one type of list. You don't have the ability to stack it with others. So you send that one list, one message, because that's what makes sense in that scenario. But here, since you have the easy ability to stack a number of motivations to get to really tighten up what they would call the universe, the number of people that you're after for that particular thing. Awesome. Use list stacking to your advantage, because that's something it's not exclusive to DealMachine, but it's so easy in DealMachine, it makes it almost exclusive to it.
Yeah, our whole goal is to make it really usable and easy for you. I mean, there are whole softwares that's all they do. So we want to just build that in here for you guys, give you that. The number, here's a really good example, and you talk about like the courthouse, like import all those leads in here. And that way you can manage those as well. And, as you're clicking on this number 3, you'll see it's part of these 3 lists. Awesome. That's a good lead. Let me reach out to them, So I would say list stacking for sure. The filters right here, I showed off briefly last time, but when you click on those filters, you can use anything like, oh yeah, if I ever went in here and I tagged a property, and when I was driving around, I tagged it and marked it high priority. We showed like cold call attempt 1 as an example last time. If I anytime I add a lead to DealMachine, you'll see little tagging options come up for you too. Those little tags will be a great way to help you filter and help you say, oh yeah, maybe what I love to do is create custom tags around severely distressed, somewhat distressed, or slightly distressed. And then every time I add a lead, I click on that. So that way I know, hey, I want to start with the severely distressed ones. Okay, cool. Let me click on that. And, if that was right here, confirm that, apply it, and you're going to see all those properties pop up right away. So it's just another way to really organize your time and really get really good at following up with the right leads first. So the filters, super helpful. Final thing is note-taking and task managing. So anytime you go to a property, when I click on that lead card, you're going to see I've got info, I've got comps, which we're going to get to in a second. Mail is showing me what mailer I'm sending it, and then activity. So this activity tab is really super helpful for kind of just tracking every conversation and making sure that I'm always following through with what I'm going to say I'm going to do, and I really care about that person and build on my last conversation with them. So when I click on add, you'll see a little add note. that's me taking notes on the conversation. I say, hey, yeah, it's a, inherited property. They've got, 2 kids. I can even put, personal info in here. And now whenever I jump in and start talking to them again, I know where I left off, and I can keep building on that conversation and stay organized and really, again, show that I'm genuinely going to care about them and their problems that I'm trying to solve here, because I am, taking the time out to keep track of those things. And then the add button right here, also the task manager. If I just talked to them, they said, come by tomorrow. I'm going to go on an appointment tomorrow at 2 p.m. Fantastic. I'm going to set that date for tomorrow, Saturday the 4th. Cool. And now whenever I jump into DealMachine, you'll see a little number pop up right here. That's my task manager. Do that every single day. Just jump on the task manager, see, okay, cool. I'm going to click off my tasks as I do them. And now I'm down to here we go, all done with that, and able to just keep on moving. So use that as a way to stay organized, to get through this and really stay on top of every single address in your pipeline. Awesome. Tom, any other tips on kind of staying organized especially for people from here where they keep adding leads and, keep marketing to sellers?
Use the custom tags. Since you can set up any tag you want and any amount of tags that you want, figure out what works for you. What's the terms you use? Like you said, urgent, whatever. The different levels of things. You can come up with anything that makes sense to you. Make a tag for it, because that's going to help you stay organized, and then you can make easy searches to know what you need to be doing now, what can wait till tomorrow, and what you can do the next day.
Exactly. So here's what I'm doing right here is the levels of distress. And especially if you're driving for dollars, definitely going to be a helpful way to stay organized. So, got a slight.
You already used that one.
There we go. Cool. So you got that as an example, and then organize from there. So awesome. Well, you got all that going. So we've talked through, again, how to stay organized on that front, talk through marketing to sellers and all that. I do want to show you one brief thing before we get into comps, the AI tool. So this is something, again, if you've never used AI before, we try to make it as user-friendly as possible. You don't have to use it. It's an awesome little add-on assistant that really is the first of its kind, the first one built out there to help you go out and find off-market deals. If you have used things like ChatGPT before, all this is think about ChatGPT filtered with a ton of our prompting to make it really, ready to talk about real estate and only talk about real estate. And then also we've got all this off-market property data. It's tapping into that to be able to give you insights that you couldn't get just using ChatGPT. So we've done all the hard work for you on how to actually use AI. It's this little assistant down here. Alma is the name of it, like DealMachine. But you can click on that. This is on if you're on DealMachine Pro, and you can do anything around analyzing properties, figuring out how to talk to sellers, and even things like how do I find title companies? How do I find different resources? So it's fantastic at helping you come in here and say, well, how do I get in touch with a seller? Well, here's some ideas. You can mail them, cold call them, email them, door knock them. You already know this because you went through the challenge. But hey, this will give you some general ideas. And if you click on the prompts, you can see like, hey, help me practice negotiating. It'll give you ideas on objections to overcome and things like that. So it's good general advice on a lot of this stuff. You can do things like skip trace right in line with it, and it'll help you like kind of take action on these things and be able to call and text and all that right from there. But it is a really, really cool tool as something to really help you, kind of think through different ways to communicate with sellers and analyze properties. So I wanted to make sure to show that off for you guys. I mean, you can do things like if you say, hey, help me write a text message to the seller, and then you can copy and send that over, or you can actually have a conversation with it saying, hey, write me 5 more SMS messages. And it'll go back and forth, and it's dynamic in that way. So that way you've got, 5 more options here for you. So you can use it again. Think of it as this little deal finding assistant to help you become even more efficient and help you just get over that hump of if you ever feel like you don't know what to do, what to say, like use this as a way to really overcome those objections, lead with action, and know that that's the most common thing we see is just maybe feeling overwhelmed or not knowing exactly what to do next. Jump into Alma and kind of get a second opinion there. So, all right. Anything on the AI front, Tom? I know we don't really talk about that too much, but
I like to look in terms of shortcutting things so you don't ever feel like people get writer's block when they're staring at a blank page. And so whatever, I'll call it marketer's block or investor's block, because sometimes you might feel like you're staring at a blank page. Just ask the AI, like, write me a text message for this, or what do I say for that? And then it gives you ideas. And honestly, you can use them exactly as they are. So you don't have to think any further. But if you want to, then look, it's much easier to polish the last 2% of something than it is to write it from scratch.
Yep. That's a great point. Overcome writer's block is a good way to put it. So, all right. So we got through that. Day one, again, building your list. Day two, marketing to it. Today, you're following up with leads. You're overcoming writer's block with AI. You're doing all that. Finally, if you're in the room, you did all that other stuff right. You're having a conversation with the seller. How do you get to that ARV number? How do you run comps to know what a confident, strong offer looks like? And so, what I want to show you here is we have MLS data for every single state, all 50 states, even the non-disclosure states, everything. This comps tool that I'll show you here is mobile friendly. So it's something that, again, the MLS data, you usually need to be an agent to get access to that. But the mobile friendly piece of it really helps you be on the go. And especially if you're like driving for dollars and having a conversation with somebody, it's just very valuable to have this on mobile as well as desktop to just stay up to date and make it really easy for you to have, accurate, confident conversations and really help you overcome what can be an intimidating conversation. Right. So when you're using the comps tool, it's this top bar right here, the comps button. And if you click into that, you'll see right away, as I zoom in here, I can go in and actually update and filter my comps. So start with this little filter button. You click on that and you can see I've got, MLS data, county record data. I always recommend default into MLS. That's going to be the most up to date. You can come in here and actually change the default settings. So let me adjust this. I can say, hey, my date range, let's knock it down to the last 90 days. Let's get more exact on show me only properties that have sold within the last 3 months. The square footage, let's knock this down a little bit more too. This is a range. So it's showing you, hey, if I have 1,000 square foot house and I put 15%, it's going to be 150 feet smaller or bigger. It has to be within that 15% range. Year built, also highly recommend. I'll come into like 15 years usually. That's going to keep it somewhat the same developer, architecture, all that. Keep it, comparable in terms of the style of the home and the development and architecture of it, the appearance. Floor plan, you can adjust bed and bath accordingly. That'll help you kind of nail that down. And then the default range right here, I knocked that down to half a mile here. Confirm all those changes and change my default so that way I get way more specific. And I had so many comps to tap into before. Now we're down to 5. Now it's actually helpful data instead of it was like 90 when I jumped into this, right? And so coming in here to be able to really help you figure out and zoom in and say like, yeah, let me lock onto my property. Let me look at these comps. And now to get even more specific, what I also highly recommend is using this draw tool up here, where if you click start drawing, you can then say, well, hey, here's river to pair. Let me keep on everything on this side of the river. So that way I know like, hey, this is going to be the most exact comps that really, really fit what I'm looking for. And so as I nail this down further and further, it's going to come up with that estimated value for you. I also would recommend like jumping into the individual properties and you can actually go in and see if we have any recently sold like MLS photos. Do I have any photos here? A lot of times we'll get, it'll be photos right there for you if you potentially to be able to look at as well. But going in here, just know like, hey, going out there, filtering down those individual factors, showing you how to be able to get really exact on the go or in here and really pinpoint block by block those comps, is going to be the way to kind of dynamically create, really, on the spot, understand what the estimated value is. So, Tom, any notes there? Anything that you do in terms of your comping process that would be different than this?
No, I'm a big believer in really locking down to the exact subdivision. Mm-hmm. But what you just did by drawing the map, first you went with a half mile, great, and then you drew. Obviously, the things on the other side of that water are different. It's effectively a moat, like a castle moat. So great, that's the easy way to keep compliant with the way I say we'll lock it into the area. But a big thing that people may not realize on this is look, I know there's a learning curve to everything. So this is one system. And if you learn this way of doing it, it works nationwide, which is great. Because if you think about it nationwide, I don't know if everyone realizes this, not every MLS system is the same. Every different region, every different board of brokers has their own, they've hired a different company, a different software company to provide their MLS. There's some that are more popular than others, meaning more regions use it, but you've got to learn how to comp on each of those individual systems. This is easier because you just learn how to comp one time and you can do it in all 50 states.
Absolutely. So, yeah, love that as a way to think about it as well. And again, the whole goal is to help give you the confidence in being able to approach a deal, because you have that data in your fingertips, and that's going to make you more confident and more accurate throughout this whole process. So, love to see that. I do want to mention, I know we're running up on time here, a few minutes left. Before we get to the grand prize giveaway, I do want to mention for you guys, you've got those 2 special bonuses. I know we've been sharing one of these the entire time at DealMachine.com/Tom for just the 7-day free trial, and you get $30 free in the app when you do that. So that would be 200 free skip traces, 50 free postcards, all of that knocked out right there for you, to really coincide with just trying to give out as much free value as possible, whether it be the knowledge, the tool, and your ability to reach out to these folks and really start to do deals. The other thing that I mentioned at the beginning here is, if you want to really do this for more than just a few months, and you're like, yes, I'm ready to commit to this, I am going to do this and go do my first deal and many after it. And one deal is obviously going to pay for this 10 times over. But the whole goal of this is that, hey, if you're going to commit to, really investing in yourself and using technology to just make this process way easier, way simpler, way more effective, here is 45% off what you would get on our website. So you can go through, it's all of DealMachine Pro, the list builder stuff I just showed you, the free marketing, all of that included, CRM features we showed today, comps features we showed today, the mail center we showed, the map, the D4D, the list building, 10,000 leads on the list building side, all that stuff's going to be included. Normally, again, would be almost double the price. You've got it $9.90 right there for you guys there too. So that is DealMachine.com/traction. I will put up that link here for you. If you have any issues upgrading, again, I know we're changing over some funnels in terms of how to do that really easily. Just here's my email. Email me direct, and I can hook you up with and say, hey, I was on the challenge, and I'll be able to work with my team and say, hey, unlock the special deal for them. So we'll have all that there available for you guys on that front. I'll leave these up here at the end when we answer questions. Tom, I do want to say, before we get into this giveaway at the very end here, I've had a great time going through this with you guys. Just want to give one word of encouragement. Like, we made this a challenge. It was, straightforward, but not easy. And you might have completed the homework. You may not have. It was very tight. It was, you had 48-hour turnarounds. People are living busy lives. I get all that. The point is, you took action. You led with this, and whether you added 1 lead or 200 and marketed all of them, like, you are starting to build momentum and make that, build that snowball. And I know, Tom, like what we had, you said 5 deals done last time through this. So as a result of these challenges, very excited to see how many deals come out of this one. Please keep us in the loop from this. We want to celebrate you guys for taking action. And Tom, too, where can people go from here? Like, where would you recommend? How would they use this? How do they get in touch with you if they're going to work with you directly? Like, can you kind of share like where you would recommend people take this and use this as a way to really, not just be a little blip on the radar, but a way that they're changing their world?
What I'd love to see everyone do is kind of what I hinted at earlier, is do this on a routine basis. Why not make it monthly? It was only 5 days. Guys, make it the first 5 days of every month. Put an appointment on your calendar, a 5-day long appointment, where you go and you do the exact steps that Matt gave you in this challenge. So go build a fresh list each time, and then follow the process through that we've covered all week about how to approach those people, how to find the people, how to approach them, how to reach out to them, and get consistent about that and watch what happens. If you need to reach me, it's tom@tractionrealestatementors.com. If you want any additional training or focus, or you need the tools in terms of contracts and systems and negotiation training, you find all that at tractionrealestatementors as well.com.
Love it. Yeah. So if you want to put that in the chat here while we dig into this, because now, excited to say that it is finally time. Here we go. We got a few minutes left here. We'll do the giveaway and we'll answer some questions for you. So I see great questions in the chat. We're going to get to those here in a second. The $1,500 plus grand prize live giveaway here. So what we're going to do now, it's going to give away an entire year. Here, give me a second. Entire year of DealMachine Pro. All that, everything locked down, everything you need, list builder included, all that stuff. We're going to give you $100 free of marketing credits as well. Make it really easy for you to get out there, to take action on the stuff, to follow through with everything. And then we're also going to hook you up with our head of customer success. He's somebody who can really walk you through exactly how to use this stuff in, live, one-on-one as well. So, being able to get out there and follow through with all this stuff, we're going to give you not only the technology, not only the marketing credits, everything in a box that you could possibly need to get out there and go do deals. So this is, excited to be able to provide you guys. This is a, grand prize here. Whoever wins this thing, please keep in touch. Because again, you're like obligated to do deals, right? So I'm excited to be able to give this away. I've got everybody pulled up on my spreadsheet of who did this and turned in the homework. We've got quite a few people on here. So now, drum roll, please. Here we go, Tom. All right, let me pull this up, and I've got my number generator here. Hold on a second. All right, guys, give me a minute here.
Big moment. You got some nervously excited people, Matt.
All right. Almost there. Let's see if they're on here. I think I saw this in the chat. We got Florian. There we go.
Good work, Florian. Well done.
There we go. There we go. Congratulations. There we go. If I remember correct, I think Florian was involved in the last challenge too. Now I think there we go. Congratulations. So love the persistence. There we go. Phenomenal.
Matt, you may not know this. Florian had emailed me earlier as well, saying that he's been doing. This is good dedication. He's been doing this challenge all week remotely as he's been traveling with his family. So kind of sneaking away and hiding on the laptop and driving virtually, and now he's home driving.
That's earning it.
Awesome.
There
Florian, you got a year's worth of awesome driving for deals coming your way.
Congratulations. That is amazing.
Good,
that's
good dedication.
Again, the people who are dedicated that are following through, you're giving yourself the most chance to win, and that is awesome. So thank you everybody for jumping in the chat. Wishing congratulations to Florian here. Again, we will follow up with our support team. I'll make sure that you're looped in with all your prizes right there. But congratulations, awesome to see that. Again, consider me a resource. Consider Tom a resource. I will leave this up here. If you want to take advantage of any of the free deal or any of the DealMachine offers here one last time, I'll answer questions here for a few minutes. But Tom, any other kind of words to help us wrap up here?
No, I think we're in good shape. I think a lot of things I want to say are probably addressed in the questions as well. So we'll get stuck. Let's get stuck into the questions, because in terms of training and learning it, is there a learning curve? Well, yeah, it does a lot. So there's a lot to learn. Again, what I think is really cool is rather than learning 12 different systems, you can learn one. So that time investment's worthwhile. Rather than having to go get a license to run comps as an investor on the MLS, you just do it here nationwide. And, learn one process one time, and it stays with you. I like all of that. So we're happy. So let's go back. Let's knock out these questions, Matt.
Cool, awesome. I'll start just knocking these off. So Christy asked, "Is List Builder part of the Pro version?" Yes, it is. So we've got that included there for you. Florian asked, when filtering for expired listings, do we still have to deal with the listing agent? Do you have any advice there, Tom?
With expireds, no. You can go directly to the owner. It's expired, and that's whether or not you're licensed. If you are licensed, then it's a long days on market. Then yes, you have to go through the agent. When it's expired, it's free game. There's no sitting license. If you're not licensed, like I'm not, it's always free game. But by all means, just look up the owner of the property and market to them.
All right. Awesome. Answering questions in the chat here for you guys. Again, congratulations, Florian. That is awesome to see. The dedication's inspiring. Let's see here. How accurate is the repair estimate tool? So I would say the rehab data in there. That's the one thing I would say definitely double check your numbers, because it's very general, and impossible to get like real-time access of, oh, a tree fell on this property yesterday. Like, you're not going to have that the day of, right? That is the power of Driving for Dollars. Driving for Dollars will help you find those and identify those quickly because you'll have that visual, data to help you out. But I would say the rehab data, that's something that, I would recommend doing a little bit more digging beyond just like the general data we've gotten there. So,
I do a specific training on that with my contractor. That's part of the Total Traction program.
There we go.
Combine what you're seeing on the images you're getting from DealMachine, and you'll know if you can tell a new window from an old window. You can tell the place has been spruced up or not, and then you can run our formulas after that.
Love that. Did you say that you can send text messages within DealMachine? So you can get the text messaging, SMS like wording, the copy right here, and you can click copy message to clipboard and then text them. But we don't have like a texting platform built in or anything, Dana.
Yeah, texting platform's not built in. I guess what I said was you can ask the AI tool to suggest it. That way you don't have to think. You just know which text to send, but you're not sending it in DealMachine. You're going to be sending that in another system.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's see. I think we got to most of it. Do you see any other ones standing out here?
Let's see.
When I tag my list, or the tags added for other users view, depends on their permissions, Erica. So if you have multiple people in your DealMachine account, which if you're on Pro, you get 3 users. Starter gets 1, Pro gets 3. You click on this top corner and you've got a little team button right here. And when you invite somebody by email, you can actually change their permissions on what exactly they can do. So you can make it so that they can just have access to your to adding leads, and that's it. But you can make it so they have access to your billing and everything and a partner, or you're going to make it so they have access to your CRM. So if they have access to the CRM and all that, that's when they'd be able to see things like tagging and that type of stuff. But
gotcha. And Matt, there's some questions in here on List Builder as part of the Pro version, or can you tell us what the version levels are?
Yeah, yes, it's included in Pro. So you've got that there for you as well. If we had somebody reach out and say they were on an old version of DealMachine. So if you're on like a very, if you've been with us for a long time, and I know we've done some beta programs to help you opt into it, but if you missed out on those, that's okay. Just email me direct and I can help you get on the new plans that have List Builder unlocked. So Christy asked, does list stacking do it automatically? Yes, it does automatically list stack for you right there for you, Christy. So let's see.
Juan's talking about the AI. He's been using the AI, and it's a huge. It's not a little thing. It's a huge benefit, huge add-on, and he thinks it's great.
That's awesome. You can get a ton out of it. It's just a matter of you actually stepping out and using it, right? But we do come again with those like default prompting options. So this little view prompts button. You've got like 10 different things right here to help you. You just come up with ideas of like, what could this help me with? Well, could analyze a property, and I could say, is this a good wholesale deal? And I actually go in here and calculate a max allowable offer for you. And you come here and say, hey, this is free and clear. The max allowable offer is this. That's probably because the rehab estimated repair cost is right there. So it'll actually break down the math for you of like, how is it getting this number? And it'll say, well, the max allowable offer is lower than what we think the property's worth. So it's probably not a good wholesale deal. Like it'll give you that thought process essentially. So, yeah.
Gotcha. Christy's talking about how much she loves the fact it's one-stop shop with the learning curve, but Matt, there's a ton of training videos that you guys have put out that I encourage everyone to go through so that you'll start using it, chip away, and then watch training videos to continue to deepen your knowledge. And then you also have the office hours.
Yep. So I just put in the chat.
Jump on live. Awesome. All right, cool.
Office hours are phenomenal. Highly recommend you using that. So
awesome. Tony's asking about focusing on 2 to 4 family properties, and she'll see that the same person or company owns several, which is normal for that, right? They're an investor of small multi-units.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a good way to record that I already sent them mailings for one of their properties? Sure, because you don't need to send the same person multiple times. Do you have a way of handling that?
So there's a couple of things in terms of like how that works and the contact, within DealMachine and kind of like, and we're enhancing the data and things. So we have a couple of really exciting things coming out within the next few weeks. So I would say stay tuned, and we will be able to help you out there.
All right, cool. Good. Dana's asking about, she tried calling somebody on her list today. The results of the skip trace had someone on 2 different properties, but he said he didn't own any properties in Kentucky. Well, why does that happen? I think Matt, correct me if I'm wrong. For the most part, the skip trace gets into some databases and does a search and pulls anything it can find to give to you. In terms of, if you have a hyper specific name like Tom Zeeb, it's a little bit easier. If you're Joe Smith, that's a little more difficult, and there's more likely to be other things in there. It's producing what it can through the databases that it can, particularly databases that the public generally doesn't have access to. But at the end of the day, there's no guarantee on it. You want it to produce as much as it can. That way you can go through and see what actually connects.
Yeah, and so you might get even a good number of phone numbers back. So it might take you a few different phone numbers to go through. So, it's not an exact science from that perspective. I know when it comes to our data versus the industry standard, where, there's nothing else out there that's more accurate. Like I would say, like we're up there in terms of the top tier of industry accuracy. So, I think we've invested quite a bit in that. And, I would say like it does take a little bit of effort though, in terms of kind of like hunting through those numbers to really get to the right ones. So.
Gotcha. Now, hang on. I think I hit the bottom. Let me scroll back up, see what's new.
Oh, Christy, that's a great tip. So can you talk to the AI and say, oh, the repair cost is this actually? Absolutely. Let me see if I can. Is this the one we did that on? Yeah, I'll say I calculated. Let's see if this could. I calculated a $10,000 total rehab cost. Can you adjust the numbers and tell me MAO again? So max allowable offer, and say, well, hey, you know what? Let me go through here. Oh, hold on. Let's try that one more time. Tell me max allowable offer with this adjustment. Here we go. So it actually will go through that and say,
nice.
Based on that, it could actually be a deal. So you essentially can have a conversation with it, and you might have to prompt it a couple different ways, but it's conversational, and from that standpoint, I think of it as like a ChatGPT type experience. So,
gotcha. And Matt, let's see what else we have there. Tamika is asking, if you're not on the pro version for the list builder, everything else still functions. As you add things, more things appear on DealMachine, correct?
Yeah, and like I mentioned, if you're on an old plan, just email me direct, and I can make sure that we, at the very least, can tell you what plan you're on, and then hopefully, I can get you guys unlocked this stuff with the new plans, essentially.
Yeah.
So use me as a resource. I can be your inside guy.
Perfect.
So
that works. All right. I think got to the bottom of the chat and back up to the top. Forgive me if I've missed anything. There's a lot in the chat, so hard to see. Anything additional, Matt? Oh, Tamika's saying no after the trial. After the trial, if you're not pro, what happens to the list builder? Does it that option disappears if you don't go pro?
So you can't export during the trial. Once you become a customer, you can, and then. I'm not sure exactly what you mean, Tamiko. If you don't have List Builder unlocked, then reach out to me and I can help you do that as well. Yeah, I'd say just email me and I can take a look at your account.
Cool. So. That's the solution to many things.
Yeah.
We're gonna overburden Matt's inbox now.
I've got a great team that helps. Don't worry.
Good to know. And then wait, there's some stuff over in the Q&A as well, Matt. Eric is asking, is there a reason to have an agent with access to MLS to check or confirm the comps? Not necessarily. I like the comps as they come out of here fine. If you ever get the opportunity to cross-check it, you can. But you saw how really detailed and specific Matt was able to get by just grabbing those 3 properties on that side of that creek. So I think you're going to be thrilled with the comp results that you get out of DealMachine. Absolutely. Yeah. So, again, great job, guys, following through. Again, I mean, in terms of like percentage of people following through from this thing, like
is way up there. So I'm very impressed with you all, and hopefully you have fun weekend plans, and please keep in touch.
Awesome, Matt. Thanks for everything. Really appreciate it. Deeply detailed. I know there's people already making some noise in the chat. Let's make a little more noise in that chat for Mr. Matt. It's all in good shape. And look, there's a lot. Like I say, Matt's giving you the playbook, giving you the plan. This is the procedure to follow. I'd highly recommend doing it on a routine basis. Keep using if you're on the trial, you've got time left. And then consider signing up for DealMachine. I'd consider using one of those ridiculously generous offers that Matt made, because this becomes the foundation of so much that you're doing. Your marketing, your estimations, even having the AI write things for you, real estate specific, not just whatever general chat, whatever. It's specific to what we're doing. And the prompts are preset for us as well. And getting those marketing mailings out there. I mean, heck, the ability to take a photo of the property with your own phone and immediately put it on a postcard. I mean, that's not going to get thrown out without getting looked at. People are seeing a picture of their own property. That's pretty enticing in terms of getting them to perk up and pay attention. So I'm one of the reasons why I've been so thrilled with DealMachine is not just the deals that it produces for us, but also just all the different, what were once disparate systems, to have them all in a one-stop shop makes life so much easier. And right, things can get complicated enough as they are. So the easier we make everything, the better. And so I appreciate DealMachine. And Matt, I appreciate an awesome 5-day challenge.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. So again, we'll send out the replays to all of this. Great work, everybody. Use this as a chance that wasn't just a blip on the radar, but is building your momentum and can change your financial life that way. Like we've seen it many times over with this challenge. So I know you had 5 deals come from the last one. Yep. Keep us updated on how many come from
let's see how many come from this one. Yeah, email us. We want to hear your stories. make sure you email us. It'd be good to know.
Love it. Well, everybody have a great weekend and happy deal finding.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it. Take care.
Thanks.